Greetings Tanglers, welcome back to Inktober 2025. This is day 24 and we are looking at Letterish by Jody Genovese. And this is going to be another ribbon tangle. At least that's the way that I'm seeing it. So we're going to draw a vertical line. These last 3 days have basically started in the same way, but this time I'm not putting a border. And now I'm going to just draw, I'm going to draw some diagonal lines connecting the two sides. And then within each of these spaces, now this one I might show that way. Notice that they're not, I didn't create triangles per se. Maybe this one just goes across that way. So I'm going to look at each space now, and I'm going to divide each space however I want to. Maybe this one I will do into triangles. That's going to be a little awkward, but we'll see what happens there. So I'm dividing each of the spaces, the bigger spaces, into smaller spaces. Then what we're going to do is we're going to look at each one of these spaces. And now I'm going to round the edges. If you're familiar with the tangle in Zeppel, it's very much in that vein. And then I am going to decide what I want to do in the middle here. So this time, I think I will just take and put a fescue type shape in the center of that one. And that's all I'm going to do. Now I'm going to come to my next shape, round the corners just like in Zeppel, and maybe in this one I will do a rounded triangle, and kind of like a rounded parallelogram. And then I go to my next one, which is very small, and I'm going to round those corners. And that's probably all I'm going to be able to do with that one. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything else. Moving on. So I always start by rounding. And then I just decide, what do I want to do in the middle? Do I want to do another fescue? That might be good. I'm going to try and show you just a bunch of things that I've seen. Maybe now I'll do ovals, circle, another oval. You just get to have fun with this one. And we're not really too concerned about what we're doing. I'll do that one. So I can have more than one fescue in a space. I'll just do a straight line with an orb on it. So we just keep filling these spaces however we want, starting with those corners. This one I think is coming out over here, so I'm not going to do anything with that. 3. You certainly can repeat. And so this is very whimsical. And I think it makes sense, the name, because it certainly does kind of look like you're making letters. Doesn't this one here look like the letter A if it didn't have that bottom? Remember to get that weight in. That weight's so important. There we go. Fun. Very, very whimsical. And I'm going to treat this one as far as shading the same way that I did for tuba yesterday. Certainly there would have been other options for shading. And I'm really going pretty lightly on my paper because I just put the ink on, and so I don't want that to smudge since I'm not really waiting for it to dry, so I went pretty light on that. So there you have it, Letterish by Jody Genovese. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.